7th here, back with another 10-minute taste. This time we're looking at Axiom Verge. Now, I just got to this area, so I have not played this area yet. So I'm probably going to look pretty bad, because this is one of those games where you run into new enemies and you don't really know how to deal with them, and you have to kind of figure it out. But that's why I love this genre. I've been a big fan of the Metroidvania subgenre for a long time, and this one, it's painfully obvious. I mean, you can see it right here. The people that, or the gentleman, I should say, because this was designed by one guy. The maker of this game was clearly a huge Metroid fan. It's written all over it. The style of it, the graphics, the type of weaponry, the layout, everything just screams Metroid. If you, like me, are a fan of the 8-bit days or the 16-bit days, and you love that style of play, this is definitely a game that you need to pick up. Now, I know that this has been on PC for a while now, but it's relatively new to PS4. I think, it came out a month ago, 2 months ago, and I'm only now getting around to where I'm spending a lot of time with it. I've put about 3 hours into it so far. And that 3 hours were pretty much consecutive. I played it for 3 hours straight because I got so into it that I didn't want to turn it off. And I forced myself to turn it off because I had other things to do. And then I've kind of avoided putting it back in, or loading it back up, because I knew that if I started playing it, that I was going to end up turning around and not being able to do anything. Now, you see these little doors right here, you have to be able to hit that red switch. So there's a weapon that I need to find where I can shoot it down that little gap at the top of the ceiling and hit that red switch to disable that security door. So I've got to find something that allows me to do that. Now, that's the kind of game it is. You know, you'll end up going back and forth to from one section to another section. Like up here, there's a door up here, and I'm pretty sure, since I've gone through all the other stuff and haven't been able to find anything of use. Shut up, update. Sorry about that, I should have turned that off. But I know there's got to be something down here at the end of this hallway that is going to allow me to get to some area that I haven't gotten to before. So I've just got to find what that is and what it does and where I can use it. I love the music in the game. It really fits the style, and I love the kind of 16-bit look to it. It's kind of a hybrid of 16-bit and 8-bit. There's some things that are obviously graphical elements that could not be done on an 8-bit system, damn it. But there's also things on it that scream NES. So it's kind of a mixture of the two. I've even seen some effects on here that probably could have only been handled on the PS1. So it's a little bit of a mix of 8, 16, and a little bit of 32-bit all rolled into one. But, you know, the overall vibe they were going for was definitely the 16-bit, the 8-bit vibe. You can just tell on the way that it's made. It's a love letter to that period of time in gaming, and I'm really digging it. The challenge factor on it. See, I got hit by one of those things. I'm still not used to fighting those yet. And so I ran back in here just to level my life bar back up. The challenge factor on it, it's not that hard, really, if you've played this style of game before. I'm just in a new area, so I'm not used to it yet, and I'm not used to those bad guys, so I'm kind of making it look a little more challenging than it actually is. But anyone that's a veteran of playing the Metroid game shouldn't have too much difficulty with it based on what I've seen so far. I've beat one boss, I think, and he wasn't really much. No, I've beat two bosses, and neither of them were really much of a challenge. one of them just kind of floated around and you just had to avoid his shots, and the other one was this big tank thing, and you basically just had to stand on a platform and shoot at him and jump over his projectiles. So, typical pattern recognition type bosses, real retro feel to it. Still a lot of fun though. Oh, I was getting about the music. I love the music in the game. It's got that kind of synth retro sound, but it's also got kind of a spooky, ethereal vibe. So again, definitely hitting on the Symphony of the Night / Metroid. Now, you look here, I can't get to that, so I can't jump high enough to get to that, so I've got to find some way to get through that door, although that door looks like it goes back to one of the areas of that I've been to already. So again, pure Metroid, gotta find one thing to unlock this area, and same thing with Symphony of the Night, you gotta go find this to be able to get to that. So typical Metroidvania gameplay. The weapons are really cool. I've got 4 of them so far, and all of them have their own unique uses, and some work better against certain enemies than others. Let's see here. Oh, jeez. So I've got to shoot one of those. I probably should be switching to a long-range weapon here, but I just like my spread gun so much that I tend to stick with it if I can. I'd rather stand in place and shoot one of those guys a little bit at a time than risk getting closer to it before, like I'm doing right now, and risk getting a lot of my health taken, which now I'm down under half already. I do have this exploding thing where you can shoot it down and then tap your button again and it detonates the bullet that you fired, but it's not always the most accurate, and depending on the enemy, it can take forever to kill these tiny little enemies with that gun. So I don't really use that one that much. I mostly just use it to shoot those little red balls to open up doors that I can't get to, but with that particular door we went to a moment ago, it doesn't work. Now you'll notice here, I found an area with my drill where I was able to destroy some stuff, but you know, I'm not big enough, or I'm too big to fit in that little gap. Now I haven't found yet anything that would like be the equivalent of Samus's ball mechanic, where I can turn myself into a little ball and roll around, and I haven't found anything as of yet that shrinks me where I could possibly jump into that gap. So not sure how to get into there just yet, and I know that there are some of you that probably already know that are watching this. Don't tell me, I want to figure it out on my own, so you know, don't spoil it in the comments. I'll figure it out. Oh, yep, there we go. What we got here? I knew there was going to be something down here. Field Disruptor alters local physics to augment jumping. Ah, so now I can jump higher. Nice. But the jumping higher fucked me up. Okay, so let's get over here and jump up here, and let's see where we can, how. We're going to have to go and figure out where I can take advantage of this. I'm guessing, though, that there's not anywhere in this area that it's going to help me out. I'm betting I have to take this now to one of the areas I've already been to and use it there. And then that'll probably give me access to something that I need in here, and so on and so forth. Such is the Metroidvania experience. If you don't like backtracking, you won't like this type of game. But for those like me, it's a godsend. You love this kind of stuff, you need to go get Axiom Verge right now. You want your Metroid itch scratched? Go pick this game up. Until next time, this is 7th.